Hola muchachos, welcome back to Let's Talk MMA. Me llamo Colby,
Hey, I'm Brodie.
and I'm excited for this one, man. We got Brandon Moreno, the 135-pound king for a long time, going up against a short notice loner Kavanagh in the deadliest arena in the UFC, taking place at CDMX in Mexico City at 7,350 feet. Brody, I'm excited for this one. Let's get right into it, man. We got a lot of OGs, a lot of unks, and a lot of crazy, crazy odds on this card. Kicking it off, we got Wes Schultz. Try to say that three times fast. Going up against Damian Pinas. Wes Schultz, dangerous grappler. Let's get all these stats pulled up. Dangerous, dangerous grappler. Damian Pinas, dangerous, dangerous on the feet. It's going to be middleweight fireworks. I'm very excited for it. Daniel Pinas is a highly touted prospect from Suriname, the baby Yaga, you might know him as. And Wes Schultz, he's just a dangerous grappler. They're both 4-1 in their last five. We got Wes Schultz coming in at a plus 195. Honestly, not gonna lie, I think the odds should be a little bit closer than they are. I think Wes Schultz is really dangerous when it comes to that submission grappling. 88% of bettors on Tapology picking Damian Pinas. And I kind of get why. I mean, he's very, very dangerous on the feet. He throws so hard. He throws quick. He doesn't necessarily have the greatest takedown defense, which I think will be a problem if Wes is able to get him down. But I think Damian's going to be able to hang. I think he's going to be able to handle this one. So my early prediction right now is going to be Damian Pinas by KO. I just had to confirm that. By KO.
Yeah, Wes Schultz, 8-2 in his career, 4-1 in his last five, making his debut, coming off his contender series, solo stretch submission win.
Oh,
Damian
yeah.
Pinas,
That was nasty. I remember that. That was
uh,
nasty.
Damian Pinas, 0-1 in his career, also 4-1 in his last five, also making his UFC debut, coming off a round one knockout on the contender series. Schultz Schultz is a good grappler. He's a wrestler. He was a 47-0 high school wrestler. He's an All-American. I think he was a D1 wrestler as well. He moves forward. He switches up his tactics. He's a great round one fighter, but then his cardio does start to fade. But there's also cardio questions on the penis side. I'm
Hmm.
such a child. There's cardio questions that he's never been at a round one. His only loss is from an illegal kick, but the round one cardio is where at this elevation, he's never fought this high. He's never been at a round one. All Schultz has to do is just wrestle him a little bit, get him tired, wear him down, snatch up a sub. I like Schultz here. They're both early finishers. One's never gone to a decision. Schultz has gone to a decision. His cardio is a little more proven. I haven't seen Penis on the ground. I don't know what he's like in the
Where have you
grappling. He
seen
does
Penis?
standing.
Was he standing straight or was he kind of standing at like a weird angle?
He's like leaning on a wall
Uh,
when I saw it. But like you said, he has okay grappling. He has low takedown. He has good takedown defense against lower level grapplers. He's never
Yeah.
fought a grappler as well as Schultz here. So I gotta take Schultz, and I'm gonna take him by submission.
If he takes it, it has to be by sub. And I can't hate the pick 100%. If this makes it out of the first round, I will be live betting Wes Schultz. 1,000%. I think that Damian is well aware of that, and he knows he's gonna have to get him out of there early. If he connects, he will get him out of there. So if he's able to find the shot early, I think he has no problem. If it does make it out of the first round, I think that's where problems come a knocking.
Now, see, Schultz's his last loss in his 4-1 was against Mansour Abdul Malik.
Yep. Ground and pound.
He took round two on the contender series,
Yep.
and then he gassed out. So all he has to do here is just survive the round one, which he did against Malik. We know Malik's strong.
Different
He could have probably
circumstances though. 7,500 feet adds a whole
exact
nother layer to it. Wes
I
Schultz
think the
he could gas himself out trying to
he
get
could. He could. He
trying to
could.
get Pinas down.
I don't know who got to Mexico first to adjust better. I'm betting on Schultz that he did, and I'm gonna hope he gets the win here.
All right, I respect it, but we're disagreeing right off the bat on this one. Um, may the better man win. May the better man win. Moving up, we got Eric Silva going up against Francis Fire Marshall. Two guys both looking to snap a losing streak. Or, well, at least for one of them not to create a losing streak, but trying to come off the losses. If you're not hip to Eric Silva, if you just started watching more recently, he's coming off of an almost 2-year layoff. He had a really bad knee injury against Muhammad Naimov. His knee kind of like exploded. It was really, really brutal. Coming back at almost 40 years old. I mean, he might as well be 39 walking into this fight against a 26-year-old, really, really talented grappler. Francis Marshall has had a hard time kind of living up to the expectations he had in his career. I still have hope in the kid, though. I mean, you just look at the 12-year age difference alone. Eric Silva is going to come out. I will say, everything Eric Silva throws looks like it hurts really, really, really bad. Like, especially, even if he's whipping it, it's like, okay, like, I know what kind of power he's throwing, and he shows it in the way he throws. He's got a karate base, wide karate stance. But they're both struggling talents right now, and I feel like the younger fighter with the wrestling advantage and the grappling advantage is going to be able to get him out of there. So I'm going Francis Fire Marshall to get him out of there by submission.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Um, Eric Silva, 9-3 in his career, 0-2 in the UFC, 3-2 in his last 5, coming off that knee being exploded by Nemavov. Francis Marshall, 8-3 in his career, 2-3 in the UFC, also 2-3 in his last 5, coming off a split decision loss to Myron Santos. Where I thought he won that fight.
I thought he won it too.
I thought Francis won that fight, and there's a note I want to touch on here. Myron Santos said that he even thought Francis Marshall won the fight after reviewing the tape. Myron even said he lost a fight. Francis now has moved to ATT, 12 years younger. He's going to be the faster and more mobile fighter here.
Yep.
He does a great job at baiting his opponents into a firefight and then switching up onto a takedown. He has great BJJ skills, constant pressure. He's also heavy-handed, just like Silva. Silva's striking accuracy is at 70%. So when he throws, there's a good chance he's going to land. And with all the power he has behind it, he's a good chance he can land something hard and knock out Marshall. He's also an aggressive grappler. He's got great top control. So I could see the knee being the issue here.
From
And him
Silva?
not wanting to be too mobile. Yeah, from Silva. Not wanting to be too mobile on it, put too much pressure on. That could cause a lot of issues. And I think Silva's grappling will be solid enough to not get subbed. But I think the ground and pound is where Francis is going to get him out of there. So I'm going to go Marshall by TKO.
All right, I see it on the ground. At least we got a similar mindset there. I definitely see this fight ending up on the ground. I don't know if Eric Silva's grappling is gonna be able to. I don't know if he's gonna be able to defend a sub from Francis Marshall, but I know damn well Marshall has no problem giving up that sub to try to get a ground and pound KO. So I like it. I think I'm still leaning submission. I don't know what it is. I'm leaning submission. The bet, talk about those Friday, probably be ITD. We'll see what those lines are looking like, but both of us agreeing Francis Marshall. Moving up, we got a short notice fight as of like 2 hours ago. Who was she gonna be fighting? Sofia Montenegro out. Regina Tarin in. Going up against Ernesta Kareckaite. Brodie, why don't you take this one? You got a little more research in than I did.
Ernesta Kareckaite, 6-1-1 in her career, 1-1 in the UFC, 4-1 in her last 5, coming off a split decision win over Nicole Cagliari. Regina Tarin, 7-0 in her career, 5-0 in her last 5, making her UFC debut, coming off a round 1 KO win over Yuravina Yasminez. Kareckaite, all 4 of her last wins have come by split decision. She's a split decision monster. If she's not winning a split decision, she's usually losing a clean decision. She's a good rangy striker, throws punches in bunches. No, she doesn't have the one good punch power. She's not going to hit you with one big thing and take you down. It's going to be a volume TKO if she's knocking you out. She has good range management, but she tends to give up moments and minutes away. She has fought the better competition, as in like Carly Judice, Diana Barboza. She lands about 7 significant strikes per minute. She has a positive strike differential at about a 1.25. But a split decision for her is always live. Now, Regina, I had to speed run this research. She has 4 KO wins. 2 in round 1, 1 in round 2, 1 in round 4. 2 submission wins. Both of them are by rear naked choke and 1 decision.
Round 4?
Yep, she's gone in a 5-round fight before.
Was it professional or amateur?
Professional for a title.
So they were 5-minute rounds?
Yep.
Okay. Because amateurs 3-minute rounds, so that's a big big difference being in the 4th round in amateurs or 4th round in professional. Okay,
she
so
doesn't
the cardio
lock
should
in.
hold up.
Yeah, she doesn't lock in her hooks on the ground. Her legs, she doesn't lock them up. She just like loops her feet together almost, and kind of think that's enough. She throws power behind her hooks. The left one tends to put her off balance. The right one tends to put her opponents out. She's relentless in mounts. The punches don't stop. You pull her close, you're getting elbowed. This is a huge level jump, though, for her. She has okay calf kicks, BJJ trip takedowns, tight squeeze around the neck, powerful kicks. She trains with Melissa Martinez. And as the Tapology will show, she's 2 inches shorter here. I don't know if it's the Mexican spirit. I don't know if it's because it's in Mexico, and she seems to be, based off her Instagram, she looked like she was already training, constantly training.
Well, she is a WWE auditionee, I guess you would call her. She tried out for WWE recently. I'd never heard of her before about 2 hours ago. That's why I saw it's all I know about her. WWE, like she tried out for it, and the UFC snatched her up before they got a chance. Like you said, sorry to cut you off. They are in Mexico. They are very obviously trying to push this girl because I feel like I wouldn't have heard her name. I went on Facebook for 2 minutes and I saw 5 or 6 posts about this. They are trying to push her. And like you just said, Ernesta either clearly wins a split decision or loses a clear decision. Will there be Mohican bias? Probably. We've seen the way the UFC is going lately. And I love this sport. I love the sport with all my heart. I really, really do. It's like one of the only sports I actually enjoy. And I'll never be afraid to speak out against stuff like that. And we've noticed some weird decisions and some late stoppages and it's always ironic who it's going to. So don't be shocked. Don't be shocked to see the Regina unanimous decision. 30-27 getting her ass beat. You never know.
And that's why I got Regina by decision.
There we go. I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the same thing.
In Mexico. We are in Mexico. The UFC is gonna want to push her. Mexico wants to be behind her. She's pretty. This is a win for Mexico, for UFC, for everybody here. They want this girl to rise to the
for
top.
a Mexican champion. Why do you think they just gave Lopez a rematch? They want a Mexican champion. Not that she will be. I don't know her yet. But it's another Mexican on the roster.
You going Regina too?
Yeah. Solely based off Mexican bias.
I mean, her cardio should definitely hold up if she.
You see that, Brodie?
That's what I like to see. That's what I like. That was all Kareckaite the other day.
Wow. That's nuts.
The ones betting Kareckaite are betting
And
the
they're
split decision.
so out of the 64% that picked her, 72.1 by decision, teeny tiny little margin of sub, and then KO. I don't see Kareckaite getting finished, but it's just 21, bro. Come on, yeah, give me Regina Kill Bill by decision, just based off the X factors. All right, moving up, we got Douglas Silva de Andrade going up against Javier Reyes. If you don't know, Douglas has been around for a while, man, fighting some of the best of the best. He is currently 3-2 in his last 5. Those losses coming from Said Nurmagomedov, Miles Johns. Yeah, the Miles Johns loss ain't good. Miles Johns loss ain't good. Javier Reyes, what do I got for this boy? I lost my notes here. All right, so Douglas Silva de Andrade, he is 40, but they always say the last thing that goes to power. So you know this man's going to be coming out throwing bombs. He's got the experience. He's fought the better people. I mean, in those wins once 4 years ago, we got Perello, Sergey Morozov, Cody Stamen. All right, so it was a lot earlier in his career. He was fighting better competition. I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm going to be picking this dude here, but Javier Reyes, he's 4-1 in his last 5. 1 KO, 1 sub, 1 KO, 1 KO. So this dude's getting finishes. He's getting what round was this? I can't see right there. So I didn't have a lot of notes for this fight. Reyes, he's a regional standout though, and he's really looking for. I think there's a lot of fighters on this card. I was just saying to Brodie before we started recording. I think there's a lot of people looking for a breakout moment, and a lot of people that have been very good regional prospects for a while. I don't necessarily think that this is going to be Javier Reyes' breakout moment, getting a finish over DSA. But that being said, I do think he gets him out of there. I do think he knocks him out. Or what did I have actually? Hold on. Reyes, KO, yeah. Okay. Do have him KO official. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this one, man. I mean, 22-5 in his career, 29-6, Douglas Silva. 40 going up against a 32-year-old. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about this one. Tapology bettors agreeing, thinking about KO. What do you got for this, Brodie?
Douglas Silva de Andrade, 29-6 in his career, 7-6 in the UFC, 3-2 in his last 5, coming off a decision loss to Miles Johns a year and a half ago. This guy's been out for a year and a half. I'm going to red flag that already at his age. Javier Reyes, 22-5 in his career, 3-1 in his last 5, making his UFC debut, coming off a round 1 KO win on the Contender Series. Douglas Silva, he's fought the better competition. He's fought at a higher level for way longer. He still has the power. Okay, BJJ. He's very stiff, likes to dirty box, sneaky takedowns on occasion. But the cardio is very questionable, especially at this altitude. Overall, he's the better skill-wise fighter. At 40 years old, this could be his last fight. He does have 20 KO wins in his career to prove his power, so when he does hit you, you will feel it. He was a former bantamweight, now fighting at featherweight, so he's cutting less weight here. I don't know. He does seem to always stay in shape for some weird reason.
He just trains all the time. He just, he's always ready
Javier
for a
Reyes,
fight.
busy striker who is always throwing. Punches or kicks that don't matter. He's landing 8 significant strikes per minute with a positive 7.5 strike differential.
That's
He's okay in
crazy.
scrambles. He is tough and durable, but there's still lots of holes in his game for a regional vet. He will aggressively move forward and likes to weaponize cardio, which at this altitude might be one of the smartest things you can do.
Oh, yeah.
But like I said, when this is a huge level jump, and he has half the KOs in his career that Silva does. I believe Reyes went 2-2 in the LFA. I believe it was the LFA. Was it the LFA or the PFL? LFA.
LFA, yep.
He went 2-2 in the LFA. He also has a padded resume a little bit, but he is big for featherweight and he throws heavy looping strikes. I don't like the age difference because Reyes likes to weaponize his cardio, because he hits so fast and so hard. I gotta take Reyes by KO.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't agree more. Perfect breakdown, Brodie. Javier, cardio in Mexico City is the best attribute you can have. You could be the worst striker, the worst wrestler, the worst grappler. All you got to do is survive 5 minutes, and it's a completely different fight. You'll see it. The last time there were 7 decisions, and I think we're going to see 7 decisions again at least. You'd be surprised. You'd be very surprised how some of these fights turn out if you haven't seen a card go down in Mexico before. Moving up, we got Christian Quinonez going up against Chris Moutinho. You know, being known for being tough is a good thing. Only being known for being tough is not a good thing, and that is Chris Moutinho. He is most viral for taking an absolute hellish beating from Sean O'Malley and surviving it. That's not good. You don't want to be known as the dude who's just tough. You know, Quinonez, he doesn't impress me either. He's looking for his first, or let me see. No, Moutinho's looking for his first UFC win. And Quinonez is trying to bounce back from his loss against Ione Barcelos. Yeah, Barcelos and Kyung Ho Kang. Losing to Barcelos right now, man, that's not good. I can't, when was it, 2 years ago? So that was before Barcelos' fight against Peyton Talbot. So he had even less steam in his sails back then. And neither of these dudes are impressive. Neither of them are UFC caliber. The fact that Quinonez is a minus 650 is insane. And that does not go to show how good Quinonez is. That goes to show how fucking bad Chris Moutinho is. And, you know, I respect any man that gets inside of that cage, lets it locks, and bangs it out. But Chris Moutinho just has no rhyme or reason being in that cage. Neither of them do, in my opinion. So I guess I'll take Christian Quinonez by decision, solely based off the fact that he is from Mexico and the fight is there, and I think his cardio will hold up. I have no faith in this pick. I will not be betting this fight, aside from my full card that I throw up every week. But even then, I might skip this fight on the full card because both these dudes are hot garbage and they should not be fighting in the UFC. They brought Chris Moutinho back as a stepping stone for Malcolm Wellmaker. Brodie, get this away from me.
Is gonna be terrible. Quinonez, 18-5 in his career. 1-2 in the UFC, 3-2 in his last 5, coming off a round 3 rear naked choke loss to Rani Barcelos. Chris Moutinho, 14-7 in his career, 0-3 in the UFC, 4-1 in his last 5, coming off a brutal round 1 KO loss to Malcolm Wellmaker. Quinonez, hard-hitting boxing style fighter, but he does have questionable cardio. 4 fights in 5 years is worrying. He hurt Barcelos a few times in their fight. He did have him hurt. And then Barcelos just took over because the cardio wasn't there enough for Quinonez. He couldn't keep it on Barcelos. Quinonez has good forward pressure. He baits opponents into brawls. But he also hasn't fought in 2 years, which I have to red flag. He grapples when he's in trouble. He does have an 84% takedown defense. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, which we've already mentioned. He's a fun fighter, but he gasses halfway through fights. All he really has are hard punches. Moutinho eats a ton of punches.
We don't know
He
what
has a
his
negative.
chin's going to be looking like after finally getting finished, though, too.
He's got a -10 strike differential. He's tough and usually durable. It took Sugar landing 230 significant strikes before knocking him out. He's more active than Quinonez is. This is his second run in the UFC. Still looking for his first UFC win. Pretty much a walking punching bag that just doesn't mind being hit. He's finished. He's finished in all of his losses. Good pressure mixed with a bad chin. So I'm just gonna. I'm gonna go Moutinho. Decision.
I see where you're coming from. I don't have a lot to say about it. I really just think that Quinonez is gonna be able to last longer in the cardio department, and they're in Mexico. That's it. I'm not betting this fight though. I don't like it. I don't like the odds. The odds are ridiculously fucking wide for no reason. Um, but my pick is gonna be Quinonez decision, and I'm not confident in that. I wouldn't be confident in either side that I picked. But I do like your breakdown. I do agree with it and see where you're coming from.
I'll probably have $10 on a decision from Moutinho. It's got to pay out pretty good.
We'll see what it's
I want
looking
to see.
like. Moving up, we got Macy Chassion going up against Eileen Perez. Macy Chassion gonna have a massive 6-inch reach advantage in this fight. Don't think it's gonna matter all too much. Eileen Perez on a 5-fight win streak right now. Macy Chasson 3-2 in her last 5, coming off back-to-back losses against Yana Santos and Katlyn Vieira, both by decision. Macy Chasson, how do we describe Macy Chasson? She's weird. She's tough. She's a pretty good striker. She does not really have the best grappling or wrestling. These were decisions, weren't they? I thought they were subs. I don't know. She's not just not all too impressive. Eileen Perez, I think, is going to be looking to probably take her down. Sub arm triangle. I'm just trying to see what these all were decisions. I wouldn't be shocked to see Eileen Perez getting close, dirty boxed a little bit, just enough to kind of get those trip takedowns, get it to the ground. And I don't see Chasson having any answers once they hit the ground. I think unless Chasson is somehow able to land one of those elbows or long knees or really find that range really early, I don't think she's gonna have a whole lot to answer Eileen Perez. So just quick and to the point, not a lot to say about this one. Perez decision. I don't really love either of these fighters, so I don't got a whole hell of a lot to say.
Yeah, I mean,
She's
Macy
she
10
speaks Spanish. She speaks Spanish. So if it goes to decision.
Yeah, they will be more lenient towards Perez. Macy 10-5 in her career, 8-5 in the UFC, 2-3 in her last 5, coming off a decision loss to Yana Santos, where the grappling made the difference. Eileen Perez, 12-2 in her career, 5-1 in the UFC, 5-0 in her last 5, coming off a decision win over Carol Rosa. Macy Chiasson, long range Muay Thai boxing style, uses her range well with her jab and kicks. She's giant for this weight class, standing at 5'11", but she has piss poor wrestling. Even when she's shooting her takedowns, it's still piss poor. She was controlled for 10 minutes by Katlyn Vieira in their fight, where Katlyn didn't even get a takedown. She just
Yeah.
kept reversing. Macy is always reversed on the ground. Her takedown defense doesn't matter because when she shoots, she's getting reversed. She lands about 4 significant strikes per minute, and she needs to get going to win. If her spirit starts to break and she gives up and her mind starts to go, she's done.
Yeah,
She's not going to
she's
win.
a mental weakling. The second that fight starts shifting momentum, she just completely gives up. There could be 2 more rounds to go, and you can tell she does not have 2 more rounds in her.
No, she's another fighter that drops minutes and moments, and she also has weight cutting issues. She was a former featherweight. Her last fight, she weighed in a pound and a
Yep.
half over, I believe.
137.5. Yep, I was actually just about to mention that when you stopped talking. I meant to mention
Uh,
that she. So that's not good. That's not good. I do you know off the top of your head if her last fight was her first 135?
it wasn't.
It wasn't. Okay, yeah, actually, it couldn't have been. Yeah, she has a couple UFC fights. That's
Uh,
right.
Eileen Perez, forward constant pressure grappler, looking for takedowns and control time. Constantly shooting takedowns. She shot 8 and only got 2 against Rosa. Shot 11 and got 6 against Jocelyn Edwards. Shot 8 and got 2 against Podol, dude, I can't even say his name. Silva. Her only UFC loss was in her debut. She's a great round one fighter. She dropped Edwards in her fight. She didn't take her down. She dropped Edwards. So she has power in her punches. Judges will lean her way. We already mentioned it. She gets about 4 takedowns per fight. She's mentally tough and sharp. She doesn't give up on herself. Her skills are constantly improving. I got to go Eileen Perez. And just because Macy tends to give up on herself, I'm picking submission.
Yeah. I got this. Oh, I had her decision. I think I'm gonna be pick flipping to submission too. Not full pick flipping, but I like the submission. I don't see Macy having anything to answer. So
No, and
let's
I
go
think
ahead
the
and
cardio is
switch
gonna
this to
be a problem
sub
here.
for the official call. Yeah, it always is for her. Like you said, she has nothing. She has no answer when she's on the ground. She gets reversed. 10 minutes of control time with no takedowns. Crazy. That's
That's insane.
crazy. So give me Fiona. Give me Fiona getting it done. Aileen Perez. Jose Medina going up against Ryan Gandra. He's fighting for his job, man. Fighting for his job. 1-4 in his last 5. He's on a 4-fight losing streak. Not looking good for Jose Medina. I mean, 34 years old on a 4-fight skid. How many of these are finishes? Let me see. Decision. Got KO'd by a table. That's right. I remember that he was smiling at him, calling him on. A table folded him. And then getting subbed by Dusko, man. That's not good. I think win or loss for Jose here, they're gonna cut him. I mean, he just, like I said before, you can't just be known as the dude that's tough. You have to have something more to your game than just being tough. It doesn't get you very far. Ryan Gandra, man, he's a hard hitter. Hard hitter. Let me see. Where are my notes at for him? I just lost all my stuff. 1 second. Ba, ba, ba. All right, so this is Gandra's second UFC appearance, and this dude is a heavy finisher. You got a KO on the Contender Series, KO and LFA, KO and LFA, sub, and a decision. He is 8-1 his pro record. Jose Medina 11-6, coming in a plus 400 underdog. That's crazy. I mean, I got to agree with the topology people here. Gandra KO. We know Jose Medina is finishable now after a Taba. And I mean, I feel like anybody's finishable at the hands of a Taba, but his chin has been cracked, and it's the same thing as cracking the seal. Once it happens, it's hard to reverse it. And I think Ryan Gandra is going to be a real problema, and I think he's going to be able to get Jose Medina out of here probably pretty early. So give me Ryan Gandra by KO.
Medina, 11-6 in his career. 0-3 UFC, 1-4 in his last 5, coming off being rear naked choked by Dusko. Gandra, 8-1 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5, making his UFC debut, coming off a round 1 KO win over Trent Miller on the Contender Series. Medina, another walking punching bag who enjoys being punched. 4L skid, signed off a loss from the Contender Series just because he was smiling while getting his ass kicked. His good cardio, his durability, he's only been KO'd by a Teba. He does have bad grappling, but clean boxing, okay takedowns. He's hittable with the negative almost 3 strike differential. But right now, it seems like he's being used by the UFC to boost other fighters. Like, he's there to be finished. His
They
resume's
finished the
padded.
unfinishable Jose Medina. That's what they're doing. It's exactly what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Now, Gandra, forward pressure striker that throws heavy, a brawler that can be patient. Not the highest of levels, doesn't have the Ateba power, but he does have power. He has good D in the pocket, good control on the ground, but he'd rather strike. A positive 9 strike differential with a 51% accuracy, 3 KO wins in a row, and a sub win before those. Extremely aggressive, throws heavy, and he does have 2 submission wins before. So I don't think he has the same power as Ateba. I'm going to bet Medina's chin's still there. And I think one of 2 things happens here. Either Gandra realizes that chin's going to hold up after a couple of hard shots and goes for a sub and wins by submission, which is what I'm going to pick, Gandra by submission. But if this gets out of round 1, I'm live betting Medina like crazy.
I don't agree.
If this gets out of round 1, I think Gandra starts slowing down because he blew his load. And Medina starts to piece him up.
I don't think Medina is capable of piecing anybody in the UFC up.
We will see. I will say, if this gets out of round 1, I am live betting Medina.
If this gets out of round 1, I think I'm gonna take a piss break and wait it out. I'm not putting any money on Medina, but I do see where you're coming from. So you're taking Ryan Gandra sub for your official. I'm taking Ryan Gandra KO.
Yeah, Medina shouldn't leave this fight on a decision loss or win. They shouldn't leave round 1. But I feel like I've said that a lot so far this year, and I've been proven wrong.
Especially last week. Last week was fucking rough for everybody.
Yeah.
Moving up, we got undefeated Santiago Luna going up against Angel Pacheco. Santiago Luna, like I said, 7-0 in his professional career. Kid's good, man. Kid's really good. Sub, KO, sub. So 2 subs, 3 KOs in his last 5. Get my notes up here for him. He's a good prospect. He's only 21 years old, coming off less than a 3-minute KO in his last fight. Going up against Pacheco, who's got a 100% finish rate. So out of those 7 wins, 7 finishes. 3 losses coming by way of, I think they're all decision. I know the last 2 were.
They all are.
34 years old, going up against a dangerous 21-year-old prospect. Santiago Luna, man, his striking is so good. It's so impressive. He's fast. He finds the chin. He hits hard. He's accurate. He's smart. Really smart for such a young fighter. And I really think Santiago Luna is going to be a serious problem in the not so near future. All that being said, man, give me Santiago Luna by KO. Angel Pacheco, I don't think he's going to be able to keep up with the speed, with the power. I think Luna's going to come into this so confident, being essentially at home in his home country. So give me Santiago Luna by KO. Sorry guys, by the way, I didn't get a chance to do a ton of research on this fight or on this card. So forgive me on the short notes and everything. And thank you, Brodie, for kind of pulling a little extra weight this card.
Brodie always comes in clutch with this. Santiago Luna, 7-0 in his career, 1-0 in the UFC. Obviously 5-0 in his last 5. Coming off a round 1 KO over Quang Lee. Angel Pacheco, how did you say it? Pacheco? Angel Pacheco. Angel Pacheco. I don't know if it's Angel or Angel. Angel Pacheco, 7-3 in his career, 0-1 in the UFC, 3-2 in his last 5. Coming off a decision loss to Kyle, dude, I always have trouble pronouncing his name. Kyle Lachlan.
Callan Lochran.
Thank you.
Colby always comes through with that.
Pacheco signed off Dana White Contender Series off a loss. Another loser who was signed. Just because he was smiles while getting his ass kicked. High volume come forward striker, piss poor takedown defense at 28%.
May I say,
Yes.
I'm sorry for interrupting, Brodie. May I say, Callum Lochran isn't that good. So the fact that this dude got signed off a loss to a guy that already isn't that good is not a good sign. Not a good sign. I had to throw that in there in case I forgot to mention that. But Callum Lochran is built like a dude who would be really good, but so is Torres Finney.
I'm never going to live that down.
No, you won't. I'll make sure of it.
Pacheco has 4 KO wins, but they're all from volume. They're all TKOs. No one-punch power there. His 100% finish rate, never been finished or won a decision. Tough and durable, no quit at him. He was hurt bad on his feet in his last 2 fights, though. He has a -2 striking diff, poor wrestling, needs to keep it standing to have a chance to win here.
So what it sounds like to me, Brodie, is he's just not UFC caliber.
No, he's not. But on the other side, we get someone who is. Luna is a tough and powerful striker with that Mexican fighting spirit. He's very athletic and showed no sign to quit in that octagon. 100% finish rate, very aggressive, and is always improving. For 21 years old, he's got a sponge brain. He's going to keep taking in more and more information. Has a wrestling in his back pocket if he needs to go there. He should be the faster fighter here. He does have some holes in his game. Again, he's only 21 years old. But he trains with Imanol Rodriguez, who we'll get to next. And he's also got a few rounds in with Cheeto and Armin Sarukian in this camp. He has been working a little bit more with striking as well. He started slow. He's a slow starter, but he's one of the next big Mexican fighters. Because he's been working with Imanol and Cheeto and Armin and DC.
He's got a really good team. By sub?
By sub.
I think there's going to be a lot of subs, huh?
I think it's a submission night.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Does he have any submission wins?
4.
Luna does?
4 subs, 3 KOs.
Alrighty.
Pacheco, 4 KOs, 3 subs.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah, all right. Well, we're both picking Luna again. Different method. Different method, but we're both confident on Santiago Luna getting this dude out of there. Moving up, training partner of Santiago Luna, we got Imanol Rodriguez going up against Kevin Borjas. Imanol Rodriguez, if you guys don't know, this kid's a fucking stud. Coming from the Ultimate Fighter, making his official, I believe this is his first official UFC fight. Yep, coming off a win over, oh my god, Roque Canseco on the Contender Series. Imanol's good, man. He hits hard. He's really fast, undefeated. He's just good. He's a really good Mexican fighter. He's well-rounded. He's got good takedowns, good takedown defense. He hits hard. He's got good combinations. He's got great power. He's got good fight IQ. I will say Kevin Borjas he's better than his record might lead you to believe. This is 10-4, so not the greatest record, but he did give Joshua Van a pretty good fight. He brought him to decision almost 2.5 years ago. I don't think that really matters. I think Josh Van now definitely gets him out of there. But Kevin Borjas, he's tough. He is tough. But again, man, the theme of this card, being tough, kind of just gets you put in a shitty situation sometimes. So I feel like it goes without saying, before I even look at those down there, taking Imanol Rodriguez by KO. And Tapology is absolutely agreeing. 91% of predictors coming in on Imanol, 69.3 on the KO. We got 3.1 on the sub and 27% by decision. I couldn't agree more. I think Rodriguez is going to get him out of there probably in the first 2 rounds. KO, sub, KO.
You said perfectly almost. Rodriguez 6-0 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5. UFC debut. Coming off that round 1 KO. Fast, clean, powerful striker here. Throws combos. Not the greatest takedown defense, but a great get-up game. He ain't going to stay on his back.
No.
He was dropped on the Contender Series, though. His durability's a little questionable. It was shown, though. He got up.
His
he kept going,
recovery's good, though.
Recovery is great. Recovery is great. Durability, a little questionable. Never gone the distance. 5 KO wins, 1 submission. Good grappling. But he did get out-grappled by Morales on tough. Which that fight probably could have gone either way.
Yeah, Morales also is really good. He's real. Like there's a lot of really good talent that came out of the Ultimate Fighter this year. Dude, I fucking wish I didn't talk myself out of my Alivi pick last week. I was like, oh, he lost. Why is he here? But I was thinking, like, I watched that whole season live every single week when it came out. I was looking forward to the episodes coming out. And there's just so much good. Even the people that didn't make it all the way are really good. It's just the best of the best make them look like they don't belong here.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's an argument he could have won that fight too. Like he was in round 3, I think it was round 3. He was starting to out-grapple Morales. But so he does have good grappling. Throws heavy shots, bad intention behind each one, great body shots, punches and kicks. His kick and punch power seem to be equal. Trains with DC, but he will walk right into range and just start swinging. He has a positive 6 strike differential, very aggressive. His only loss was on tough, so they don't count it, but it taught him something. That loss was a learning point for him. He's not God's gift to fighting, but he is another one of those next best fighters coming out of Mexico. Kevin Borjas, 10-4 in his career, 1-3 in the UFC, 2-3 in his last 5, coming off a decision loss to Sumadaji. Borjas is a good counter striker, patient at picking shots, but he has a negative strike differential at 1.5. He looks good in round 1. Cardio starts to fade in round 2. We're at elevation. We don't want people whose cardio is fading. But he is tough and durable. He was outboxing Van in round 1, and then Van kind of took over. We all know Van used to be a slow starter. He could score a knockdown in this fight, but that ain't going to matter much because, like you said, the recovery of Imanol is really good. Borjas rather avoid the ground. He had no success in his last fight. He's clearly outmatched in this one. Imanol trains with DC. He's getting these. He's just learning everything so fast. He's powerful, and with Borjas wanting to avoid the ground, I only see this ending on the feet, and I see this ending Rodriguez KO.
I love the breakdown, and I love the call even more. I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. Imanol Rodriguez by KO. Moving up, we got Edgar Chairez. I'm excited for this one. I really like Edgar Chairez. Going up against Felipe Bunes. Edgar Chairez, man. I mean, same thing. He's a lot better than his record might let you think. His grappling is disgusting. You do not want to end up on the ground against Edgar Chairez. I really like this dude. I like the way he presents himself. He's got that, like, forgive me if this is offensive. I mean this endearing. He's got that, like, cholo, like, OG Mexican vibe to him. And he's always got the bandana on and, like, he call you Holmes. Like, I really, really like this dude. I like his energy. His grappling is just off the fucking charts. Felipe Bunes, I mean, these dudes are both, for the most part, finishers. Bunes 3-2 in his last 5. 2-1 his last 5 for Chairez. I don't know about this one. I feel like Bunes is gonna be smart enough to try to not get this fight to the ground, but I think Chairez is going to be good enough to get this fight to the ground exactly where he wants it. Obviously, Edgar Chairez is going to be a huge, huge hometown favorite here. And I think he's just better. I think he's going to be able to outwork Felipe Bunes. I think he's going to be able to get this to the ground. And I think he's going to be able to get the sub. But I don't know. I'm like, my original call is Chairez KO. Because I feel like Bunes is going to try to avoid at all possibility letting this fight go to the ground. If this hits the ground, I think Edgar Chairez latches up a sub like almost instantly.
Really?
Yes. I do. I don't know
I don't
what
see
I'm
it ending
missing
like that.
here. I don't know why I have this written down, but my official prediction, Chairez KO. Chairez KO. What do you got, Brodie?
Felipe, 14-8 in his career, 1-2 in the UFC, 3-2 in his last 5, coming off a decision loss to Estevan Ribovics. Edgar Chairez, 12-6 in his career, 2-2 plus 1 no contest in the UFC, and 2-2 and 1 no contest in his last 5, coming off a round 1 rear naked choke win over CJ Vergara, where CJ gave up his neck because he didn't want to get hit no more. Bunes is a BJJ black belt. Great submission skills, nice fast scrambles, not afraid to engage on the feet, throws overhands, then shoots for takedowns. He has a Muay Thai style striking. Throws even when he's hurt, stays active on his back. Can be discouraged in the cage though. Once he's discouraged, that's when he starts to just give up. He's one of those mental fighters again like Macy Chassion. He's not the greatest wrestler. His striking's underrated. He has poor head movement and heavy calf kicks. Edgar Chairez, a well-rounded, in-your-face type of boxer with okay takedowns and BJJ, a good scrambler, tough as hell with that Mexican fighting spirit. His 2 UFC losses are to Tatsura Taira and Joshua Van. He has great cardio, great submission chokes, but he's never won a decision in his career. He's mainly a striker, but has grappling in his back pocket. He's slick on the feet, has power early on round 1, underrated grappling, which apparently you found out about.
I think his grappling is fucking nasty. I like if I hear Edgar Chairez, I think of his guillotine before I think of his striking every single time.
I mean, he gave Taira issues on the ground.
Which is crazy! That's crazy! Taira's fighting for the fucking belt again!
Like, this Chairez fights his ass off.
Dude, his grappling's really good. His grappling's really that good, man. It really is.
But I don't know if Chairez would want to take it to the ground with someone who has great BJJ skills. Chairez has 8 submission wins. Bunes got 9. So they're about even there. Chairez should just try to keep it on the feet. He does have more knockout wins than Bunes. He probably has more power than Bunes does here. Keep it on the feet. Avoid the grounds. Get that KO. That's exactly what I see.
Yeah.
Chairez KO.
So we both think this fight's they're gonna be avoidant to the ground. I just think Bunes is gonna be the one to not want to get it to the ground more so.
I think it's gonna be Chairez trying to avoid it.
Well, see, I don't know, man. If this hits the ground, I think Chairez gets a sub. If it stays on the feet, I think he gets a KO. But we'll see, man. You never know. You never ever know, especially after last week. That proved that.
Chairez, it's your Bunes decision.
Yeah, we'll talk about that Friday. Moving up, we got Daniel Zellhuber going against King Green. Zellhuber 3-2 in his last 5, coming off a horrible, horrible decision to Michael Johnson, which reigns the question: did Esteban Ribovics steal his soul in the fight before that? 26 years old, 6'1", with a crazy 77-inch reach. Going up against King Green. He's 2-3 in his last 5, coming off of his split decision win over Lance Gibson, which should have been unanimous decision in my opinion. Before that, we all
Agreed.
saw the KO against Hoofy. And before that, he got subbed to Paddy Pimblett. So we know King Green. You know, I don't really need to explain him too much. You know, he fights flowy, he's fast, and he's out. He's fought the better competition. Um, Daniel Zellhuber, man, it's gonna be a question of bad night or bad mental recovery from that loss to Ribovics, because he did not look like the fighter we expected to see in his last fight. Daniel Zellhuber, that is. He just the way he lost to Michael Johnson and how flat-footed he was and slow, and how the whole fight he just looked like a deer in headlights. You can't do that against Bobby Green. You cannot do that against Bobby Green. You know, people were counting Bobby Green out for a while. He came off back-to-back losses from two really good fighters, two people who, one who just fought for a title and one who could be in the next year. Maybe a little less, a little more than that because it was lost to BSD, but you know what I'm saying. Uh, it's really hard for me to not have recency bias on Zellhuber's last fight, but I think if Zellhuber shows up the way he should, I think he works the range. I think he stays away from Bobby Green long enough, kind of point his way to a decision. I don't see him getting Bobby Green out of there. And I think the 7,500-foot altitude definitely comes into play in this fight. So give me Zellhuber decision, but I'm not super confident in it.
All right. Zellhuber, 15-3 in his career, 3-3 in the UFC, 3-2 in his last five, coming off a decision loss over Michael Johnson, where Zellhuber seems stuck in the mud. He's a long, rangy striker with dynamic striking, good body and head kicks, very durable, Mexican. Long kicks, has power, amazing takedown defense at 94%, good knees up the middle in the clinch. Can't hesitate here like he did against Johnson. It's just a bed when he's a massive favorite. He's been through high levels of war already. He's racking up mileage. He was dropped in his last two fights. King Green, 33, 17, and 1 in his career, plus 1 no contest. 14, 12, 1 in the UFC, plus 1 no contest. 2 and 3 in his last five, coming off a split decision win against Lance Gibson. You should have said it been unanimous. I agree, that should have been a unanimous ass whooping.
Yeah. I don't know how that was a split decision.
Yeah, Green found that flow state pretty early and just kicked his ass. Green's a vet. He's a medium volume boxing style striker. He keeps his hands low at his waist, but the hand speed's so fast it doesn't matter. The KO power is not there. He's more of a volume type TKO. Starts slow, almost sparring pace, and then he starts to pick it up. Great head movement, amazing head movement. Sometimes shows up not too serious. Sometimes he's joking around, leads to his downfall. Good takedown defense at 72%, positive 2.5 striking differential. But his chin has been called into question, getting knocked out by Turner and then more recently, Rufi.
Be right back, Brodie. You finish this one up.
You got it. He has crazy mileage. He shoots recklessly. Great pressure boxing, but his D has been slipping. Now, the last time we saw King Green take on a long, rangy striker, that was Rufi. And what did Rufi do? Rufi caught him with a head kick. Zellhuber has good head kicks. Zellhuber has the power to catch Green with a head kick. Green leaves his hands so low. If he dips out, leaves him down like he did against Rufi, he's going to get caught again with one. I can see Zellhuber landing a head kick here and putting Green out. Especially in Mexico, Green's going to start slowing down a lot faster. And I don't think Zellhuber's going to freeze this time. Not in front of the home crowd. Not in front of everybody. What does he have? Zellhuber's got 7 KO wins. I could see this happening here. I could see another long kick coming Bobby Green's way. and putting him down. And Green might have to eventually call it soon a career because I don't see how Green keeps going. He's great against the regional fighters. Lance Gibson, I mean, he destroyed Lance Gibson. Gibson wasn't ready for that fight. Gibson wasn't ready for the level jumps. Zellhuber's been at this level already. He fought Ribovics. He lost. He fought Michael Johnson, right? Or was it Miles? It was Michael Johnson. He lost. I think he gets the win here. I think he learns from those mistakes. He can't hesitate in front of Bobby Green. He can't stand in front of Bobby Green. You got to strike Bobby Green. You got to hurt Bobby Green. You got to knock Bobby Green out. That's exactly what I think happens here. Daniel Zellhuber by way of KO. I might even bet a head kick if I'm allowed to on my sports book. Honestly. Welcome back. Just in time.
So your official call?
Zellhuber KO.
Zellhuber KO. Alrighty. I think I'm gonna be leaning decision here still, but we'll have to see. I'm definitely gonna be doing a lot of more research the next couple of days before weigh-ins. I think my picks for the most part will stay the same. Props might change. But definitely got to do a little bit more in-depth research for this one. Not for this one, though. We're not getting fooled. We're not getting fooled by this. We got Chito Vera going up against David Martinez. Chito Vera on a 3-fight losing streak right now, man. Another fighter just known for his toughness. That seems to be a real theme tonight. Going up against the Doctor. David Martinez, 13-1. He's on an 8-fight win streak right now. Mostly coming via KO. 27 years old. Kid's a monster. Kid is an absolute monster. He's on a 9-fight win streak, actually. Looking to kind of find his way into the top 15 here. And Chito Vera, he's coming off split decision loss to Eamon Zahabi. Before that, unanimous decision loss to Davison Figueiredo, which at this point in Davison's career is not a good loss. Before that, decision loss to Sean O'Malley, which we all saw coming anyways. I mean, he didn't really win that first fight.
Neither one of them did anything in that fight.
Yeah, Sean landed that knee.
I mean, yeah, that big knee.
I know, that was it. That's all I can remember from that fight.
They stared at each other, and then she was like, I lost.
David Martinez, powerful striker. Very, very powerful striker. He's fast. He's strong. He's going to have a little bit of a reach disadvantage here, which isn't going to matter at all. 5'5". And, I mean, this kid's like a coil. Like, he is so powered up with every strike that he throws. He's coming off decision win against Rob Font. I don't think he finishes Chito Vera. I think this is going to be another decision. So give me Martinez decision. I think Chito's too tough for his own good, and I think it's going to continue here.
Marlon Chito Vera, 23-11-1 in his career, 15-10 in the UFC, 1-4 in his last 5. Coming off a split decision loss to Eamon Zahabi, where he was shocked that he lost because he didn't do enough.
That's what I meant to say. Give me Martinez by decision. Very clear, like 30-27, that Chito Vera then looks fucking shocked at. He stands around, he waits to lose the decision, and then he gets blown away that he loses the decision. Every time now. Every time. So thank you for saying that. I meant to say
3
that.
fights in a row.
Yeah.
Martinez, 13-1 in his career, 2-0 in the UFC, 5-0 in his last 5, coming off a decision win over Rob Font. Chito is a kind of busy striker. When
He's striking.
Extremely durable, never been finished. Constantly outstruck, though. Weird, random moments of power. Great cardio. He's on a similar fight level to Font, but he might be worse than Font considering the losing streak here. Walks into range and just stares at you. This is another punching bag that's okay with being punched, but he acts like he hates being punched. He gives one to get one. no finishing power. He lost that Figgy lost. That was a terrible loss. Figgy's doesn't look great right now. It was less than 2 years ago, so you still got to count that. 72% takedown defense and a negative 1.10 strike diff. He's unreliable. He never does enough. Martinez, mobile, counter striker, good footwork, great kicks, works well on the back foot. Medium volume striker at 5 significant strikes per minute with a +2 positive strike diff. Always doing something inside that cage. Cardio still can be tested a bit, but it should be good here to go. Takedown defense is miraculous at 100%. He's a 27-year-old durable Mexican. Great performance in his last 2 fights. He's another Mexican star in the making. The UFC obviously wants him in the top 15. They want to get rid of Cheeto. They're costing him too much money. Give me Martinez's decision.
Yeah, I'm happy you called that too. I was getting afraid you were gonna call KO there, and I was gonna have to talk you out of it. Perfect breakdown, Brodie. Again, give me Martinez decision. I think Marlon Vera is too tough for his own good at this point in his career, and I think it's gonna be one of his last fights that we see. So if you're a Cheeto fan, buckle up, buckle up. If you're a Brandon Moreno fan, you might be clenching your ass cheeks a little bit this fight. It's going up against Loner Kavanagh. If you don't know, you're going to learn. Loner Kavanagh, dangerous striker. Super duper fast. Hits hard as hell. He is 9-1 in his professional career. Only loss coming to Charles Johnson, which Charles Johnson seems to have that death touch on people that are going to go far in their career right before they do. Did the same thing to Josh Van, the third round of their fight. Here's the thing. Kavanagh is really good everywhere except the cardio department. And the fact that this is short notice, Moreno was supposed to be going up against Asu Amabayev, which would have also been a banger fight. Loner Kavanagh's cardio fails him. And it's only failed him to a loss one time. You know, he slowed down, kept his hands down off a break, and he got caught. I think he'll keep his hands a lot higher this fight. But it's clearly a problem. And this is short notice at the most dangerous arena for cardio against someone with so much 5-round experience. If Loner's not able to knock Brandon Moreno out early, I don't see him winning this fight. And I don't see him knocking Brandon Moreno out early in this fight either. I don't see him getting a sub. If this was a 3-round fight, short notice, I might be leaning Loner a lot. I would be leaning Loner a lot more. I'd put him in consideration. If this was a 3-round fight on a full camp, I think I would be choosing Loner Kavanagh. But with the circumstances, I can't. I can't pick him short notice at elevation against someone with so much 5-round experience. I think Moreno's going to be able to survive the early onslaught. I think he's gonna survive it, pick up the pace a little bit, and in that 4th and 5th round, Kavanagh's just gonna start sinking. I don't think he's gonna be able to keep up the whole 25 minutes with Brandon Moreno. And I think for the time Kavanagh is dangerous, Moreno survives. So give me Brandon Moreno to snap this little L streak by decision. I want to pick Loner, man. I want to, but I can't. I can't with the circumstances.
Man, I like it. I like the pick. I respect it. Moreno's 23, 9-2 in his career, 11, 6-2 in the UFC, 2-3 in his last 5, coming off a TKO loss in round 2 to Tatsuro Taira, where I thought that KO was called early. Even us, the ones who are calling that these KOs aren't coming, thought that was early.
Yeah.
Now, on the other side, Loner Kavanagh, 9-1 in his career, 2-1 in the UFC, 4-1 in his last 5, coming off that round 2 KO cold starch loss to Charles Johnson, where Loner dropped his hands exiting the pocket and he was caught right on the jaw.
Yeah, he paid for that. Like the worst way possible.
Loner is a good counter striker. He's fast, he's clean, he's accurate, but he's still hittable. He's great skill, with a questionable chin now because we have seen it get cracked hard. He gassed in round 2 in his last fight. He's a confidence fighter as well, so his adrenaline starts to drop when his confidence does. He uses wrestling to offset the pressure. Not really used to being hit. He doesn't like it too much. He's been training with Nathaniel Wood as recently. I also want to mention, side note, he's English now. Loner Kavanagh is now English.
I
He's
just
no longer
noticed that. I
Chinese.
was like, wait a second. Wait a goddamn second. Because I heard him talk in an interview, and I was like, oh, what the hell is going on right now? Hello, my name's Loner Kavanagh. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Right? I thought you were Chinese.
My name Lona. I can't do it.
Never mind. Yeah, I was gonna add that one.
Great outside footwork. Strong round 1 winner. Still has a weird hype after being knocked out. He was training. He was training for a fight against Bruno Silva, so he was in a camp. He's a little undersized for this weight class, and he's not Tatsura Taira level. My name Kaya Shikora. I had to. Brandon Moreno, vet, former champion, amazing cardio, Mexican chin, good pressure, good grappling, good scrambles. Early stoppage last fight, already mentioned it. He did also gas a little bit, but he showed up to Mexico 2 weeks early, I think, to prep for the cardio. He's inconsistent in some performances, but he has all the tools to expose Loner's cardio. He's mentally strong, but he's always outstruck. Last time he main evented in Mexico, he lost to a short notice Brandon Royval. You already mentioned he was training for Asu. The crowd will be behind him this fight. The cardio is going to be the big thing here. Loner gassed in round 2 against Charles. Brandon Moreno showed up early to Mexico. This is a shorter notice fight for Loner.
And I highly doubt Loner was training for a 5-round fight at any point.
Oh, he wasn't.
At any
point.
He
wasn't. No, it was the 3-round against Bruno.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have to mention, so far on this year, the vets in the main events are 4-4.
Really?
4-4. Justin Gaethje beat Patty. Volk beat Lopez.
Oh, 4-4.
Batista.
4-4.
Yeah, the 4.
I was like, wait, I thought,
wins.
Yeah.
4 wins. 4 vets, 4 wins. They won them all. 4-0, whatever you want to call it. In Strickland. So all the vets have won all the main events so far this year. I don't see why it stops here. I like Moreno.
Wait, who's the 4th? Volk,
Gaethje, Strickland, Bautista. He's a vet to me. He's been in the UFC for a while. But yeah, I like the Moreno call here. I just think because the cardio comes into question, Loner's gonna gas. Moreno has the 5-round experience. He has the Mexico elevation experience. I think he finds a sub in round 4 or 5.
Yeah, honestly, no. The more I thought about that, the more I was thinking that Loner's gonna kind of be standing there like completely out of the water. Yeah.
Because he thought, Charles, this is a bigger step up.
It's a long time to survive, man. Yeah. I'm flipping to Moreno sub. I like the sub call. The more I think about it, the more I lean to it. I don't think he knocks him out, but I could see him taking him down and Kavanagh literally just not having the energy left to fight the hands or anything.
Yeah, Moreno's got 11 submission wins. Kavanagh only has 1 sub win.
Yeah. Yeah, give me Moreno by sub.
Well, Kavanagh is on the ground when he's tired, so Moreno sub's the way to go.
All right, so I think we agree on every fight except the first one.
Let's see. We disagree with Pinas and Shultz. We disagree with Quinonez and Moutinho. And then that's it.
All right, well, perfect segue. Let's check out what the AI is thinking this week. Where we at here? Bam, bam. Alrighty, real quick from the top. AI is picking Wes Shultz by sub at a 54% confidence. It's picking Eric Silva by decision at a 74% confidence. Ernesta Kareckaite, decision, 98% confidence. Javier Reyes, decision, 68% confidence. Christian Quinonez, decision, 88% confidence. Eileen Perez, decision, 88% confidence. Ryan Gandra, TKO, 96% confidence. Angel Pacheco, decision, 81% confidence. Imanol Rodriguez, TKO, 81% confidence. Felipe Bunes, sub, 74% confidence. King Green, TKO, 68% confidence. David Martinez by decision at a 96% confidence. And Loner Kavanagh by decision at a 98% confidence. I can't say I agree with the main event pick, but I can't say too much because it damn near doubled me and Brodie's picks last week. So if you guys don't know, went 10-4 on the first card at a 71.4%, over the moon. Couldn't be happier. I think it was 6 underdogs and 5 methods, if I'm remembering right. 10-4 on the night with money line picks. Something like that. You guys can always check for yourselves. I'm excited for this card. I love when they go to Mexico. It's always interesting. Anything else you want to add on to this, Brodie?
Not really. I can't wait for those props to drop. As far as I've seen, these money lines are a little bit out of control this week.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of prop hunting.
Be doing my best prop hunting I can as soon as those drops to find the best place for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be back Friday to talk post weigh-ins and bets. Always looking forward to that. And the recap video will look a little bit different. A little bit different after this card, but in a good way. It'll be nice. We're going to try something out. So, once again, thank you guys so much for spending an hour with us. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, tell your mom about us, tell your mom's mom. And, yeah, thank you guys so much. So, we'll be back Friday for our post weigh-in and bets. And as always, wishing you guys nothing but the best. Thank you so much. We will see you next time.